flying, the moon is hiding, while the sun is shining. Life goes on, while so many dying, so many crying, while so many smiling. The flowers are dancing, cause the season's timely. The ice is present, and now the leaf is drying. This is nature, but can I come persuade you? We gotta repent, cause one day we'll see that's not the true nature. It's supposed to be like Eden, yeah. Ooh, it's supposed to be like Eden, yeah. Ooh, it's supposed to be like Eden. From deep within, even when we gain carnal enmity, that's within. Like, oh, this ain't the way it's supposed to go. It's gonna go back, yeah. The wolf and the lamb supposed to grow together. Now the lamb gotta hide up in the night. Peace was supposed to rule upon the earth, but Revelation told us that we gotta go and fight. Man lost his dominion on the earth and gave it to the beast. They go creeping in the night, under subjection of his subjects. Without him, they gonna stay dead. They won't know the way of life. They won't know the way of life, no, no. But it's gonna go back to the way it was. Eden, Eden, Eden. Say Eden, Eden.
Check, 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 check. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Let me know, let me know, let me know if you can hear me. Praise you. One moment. All right, praise you. Praise Yahusha. Sorry about the title, y'all. I ain't get a chance to change it. Hope all doing well. Hope all is doing well this vocal. All right. Seems like it's been a little minute since I've been able to do it. Thank everybody for their patience. Just talk about a few things this morning, this vocal. Hopefully it'll be an encouragement to your heart. Just want to let you know what season, as far as you need to know what season that we're in. The new year has already begun for us. New year for us began on April the 5th, I think it was. And so we have PESACH coming up. And it's always through to reflect, to Selah on your walk. And to really look within the past year and see if you took your walk serious. If you really dedicated yourself since the last PESACH to Yahusha. Or to see if Yahusha was not the center of your affections, your concentration, and your consecration. To see if you still focused on self. Because a lot of times we can get consumed with ourselves throughout this walk and what makes what we enjoy, what we desire. Then it becomes our will versus Yahusha will, and we don't really realize how much we really choose our will based on our emotions, based on the seat of our will, which is controlled by our trauma. You need to introspect and see how much dominion you have over the way you think. Is you have your mind, and really check and see how much inner work have you done. I'm not talking about the outward works. I'm not talking about things like going to assembly or those that are online, being faithful online, listening to messages and different things, or those in assembly that's doing work, showing up. I'm not talking about none of that. All that is outward things. But how much inward work have you done based on the revelation that has been given? What does your inner management look like? What's the condition of your soul? Do you know? What is the condition of your soul as of right now? How much work have you done it? Because at the end of the day, it's about the saving of our souls. That mind, that will, those emotions, the voice of your feelings, which is your emotions, your reasoning, the voice of your mind. What does your heart condition look like? Do you have dominion over the way you think? Or does circumstances drive your thinking? Can an outward circumstance drive the thoughts in your mind that controls your emotions? Have you learned how to separate your mind from your spirit? For your mind was given to be a servant to you and not a master. This stuff is, I talk about this for years, but it's so important because we ain't got it yet. And a lot of times we be ready to go into these different seasons and it become a ritual, but the outward season of Passover, if it doesn't do inner work, you just celebrating not a holy day, you celebrating a holiday. And you would make it religious rather than actually meeting and presenting yourself before Yahusha from the kingdom within. You have to learn how to pause and slow life down, because you can be consumed by circumstances that drives your thinking, that drives your emotions, and will put you in a place where you paralyzed. And your feelings will eat at you from the inside. What am I saying? The inner work, slow down. Begin to think about what you're even thinking about. Have you ever thought about what you just thought about? What was your last thoughts? What's your last series of thoughts? Where did those thoughts come from? Why are they coming? And what am I doing to make sure that they're serving me rather than controlling me? That's the focus, is possessing our soul with patience and reflection and pausing and stopping and looking and evaluating our progress. You never want to become a people that's busy but not effective. You got a lot of things you're doing, but you ain't effective in no area because you haven't done the inner management. You don't want to become a people that's making a lot of motion but no progress. You're actually on a escalator trying to walk upstairs that's going down, and you feel like you're moving in life, but when you really look at it, the last 5 years, you've really been in the same spot because you haven't learned to recognize the cycles of life that is meant to develop you. But if you don't recognize and learn the lesson, trying to get to the destination, you'll stay in the same cycle. And it'll feel like you're moving, but you won't be, because you're not paying attention to the landmarks to show you that this is the same thing. I haven't learned a lesson yet. I'm back here again, but my pride won't let me see how I can overcome, because I have to project that it's not my fault. I am not gonna get into no deep thing about Pesach and Yahusha and all of that, because honestly, a lot of that we have been taught for years, but we haven't learned the lesson of conforming to the image of Yahusha, first inwardly without our works. And what I mean by our works, with the things that we do in our hand for Yahusha rather than in him. You know, so it's about reflecting and relying on what does my inner work look like? Okay, what about my past? Am I still running from it? Has the darkness of my past caught up to me and influenced my decisions now that has stagnated my growth? Do I have dominion over my past? What do I mean by dominion? I mean that my past don't control me no more. And we got to be very careful before we say that, because a lot of stuff in our past control us and we don't realize it. It's trauma based, and it's at the core of our being, and it's at the seat of our decisions. And a lot of times we'll make every decision about hurt that happened to us, that we declared that this will never happen again, that we addicted to the opposite of what happens because it gives us control. Let me go to a few scriptures, and I hope this gonna help you. I really want us to get that. We don't do enough inward management, inward work, looking within. Y'all hear me? All right, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. I want us to, we got to get this, because the power of Yahusha for our time and season is going to start being birthed out our being. But it can't dwell in a place full of deception. But there's still secret things and hidden things that's there. It's going to cause problems. What I mean, the cabal of Yahusha, I'm talking about, you'll see what I'm talking about for those that receive it. Because I feel it on me right now. Praise Yahusha. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. I'm going to read that real quick. And then we'll see what Yahushua going to do. All right. Just going shooting from the hip this morning. But I want us to get this. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And it reads, for everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under the SHEMINI. I'm going to read that one more time. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the sun. To everything that is a season. Now, let's stop there. The scriptures declares that to everything there is a season. This is what I mean by slow down. If I was to ask you what season that you're in, for what thing to be developed right now, what would you say? And I'm talking about, don't give me nothing. I'm talking about for you personally. Have you paid attention to the seasons of your life? The age that you're in now? The dispensation dealing with you specifically as you go through time. What is that thing that has been granted to you to nurture and become in this season? And what season is it? What has been given to you? What is yours right now for stewardship that has been given to you in this season? What are you supposed to be taking care of? What are you supposed to be managing? What are you supposed to be growing? What are you supposed to be casting out? What are you supposed to be breaking down? What are you supposed to be building up? What are you supposed to be planting in your garden, which is yourself? Are you distracted? Are you everywhere? Do you not know that single purpose, that one thing? In this thing, it says to everything there is a season. See, we miss Yahuwah looking at where we want to be, or we'll have other people outside of our experience, distract us with end goal destinations. And then we get so focused on the destination that we don't pay attention in the journey. And embrace the journey and accept the will of Yahuwah in the journey. We want to get to the end of the book rather than writing and reading the hand of the writer that's writing out our life. That's scribed this season, this time has been scribed in your life. to say what you have done, what you have been through, how you failed, how you got back up, how you conquered, how you overcame, how you realized how the light came on, how you had a setback. It's been written. But Yahusha is about learning me in the journey rather than trying to get to the end of the book or the destination. This is why it says in Psalms 103 that Musha knew the mind of Yahuwah, but the Israelites just knew his. No. Yeah, Musha knew. No, the Israelites knew the acts of Yahusha, but Musha knew his ways. I want to learn his way. I want to learn his mind. I want understanding of him. I want knowledge of him. And the only way you can get it is through slowing down and reflecting and say like what you in a rush for. You're going to miss something that was only given in this season. And when this season passed, you missed it. But sometimes you miss what's supposed to come to you, what's supposed to happen to you, because you're busy. And one thing that I learned in my life, if you don't hear Yahusha through instruction, you will hear him through pain. Because pain has a way of getting our attention and slowing us down and making us reflect. So pain is good. Pain is food. Because it makes us have a screeching halt to realize something is wrong. That we may pay attention to the area of the pain. That we may correct what's out of order. Again, what is the thing in this season where he's given you to understand that's your bread that you're supposed to eat on, that you may live? You get wore out, you get tired, you get exhausted because you haven't eaten. You're eating of everything else except what's supposed to nourish you in your season, in your experience during this time. You eating other people's bread. And this is how you can go through a whole year and never grow, because you never had the right nutrients, what was supposed to be given to you, because you don't pay attention. Slow down. Everything is trying to talk to you, but you don't only have ears for technology. You don't have ears for that which is spiritual. You don't have ears even for the natural. Everything will talk to you if you have ears to hear through Yahuwah's spirit when it comes to his creation and what he desires to speak to you through. Wow. But what bread you eating on in this season? What he giving you? To everything there's a season. Y'all reflecting? Trying to get you out of the same cycle of doing the same thing every year. It's time to grow. There's certain things that I know I got to develop, that I know I have to do. What's your focus? To everything there's a season, right? Let's go through this. And a time for every purpose under heaven. So now we have a time for every purpose, right? A time. A time for every purpose. So what's the assignment for you that you have been given time? What's the assignment? Because time is precious. Time is something that you can't get back. Time is an interruption in eternity. Time has been given to us as a gift. Its ability, time is the ability of everything to play out. Time is the difference between truth and a lie. Because lies always have an expiration date. It cannot outlast truth. Time is the difference between not understanding and revelation. It says that Yahuwah established the end from the beginning. Everything in eternity and that's eternal, it already is, already done, and always is now. But that which is eternal comes into time to establish what it's supposed to establish through the development of time. As time begins to expand and play out. This is why everything that you ever done has already been done. But it plays out in your life. Because you've been given it as a gift to experience Yahuwah. And this is why he says in Isaiah 43 that ye are my witnesses. I'm going to give you life, and I'm going to let you go from a child to the day you die to realize that I am who I say I am. And time help us see who Yahushua is. If we paying attention, if we're looking for him, if we're understanding the lesson, if we're studying his lessons, if we're embracing the journey. We waste so much of the precious time that he has given us to experience his eternal being as it manifests and playing out. We have distractions that distract the very precious thing to be his witnesses, which is time. Your development is time. Your conquering over pain is time. You being restored is done in the process of time. Your deliverance, your restoration, your healing is in the process of time. When we understand the gift of time, then time can work in us. All right. Now, time give us phases in our lives where we experience certain things for our development in the form of a phase. Yahushua desires us to go through the phase, but not get attached to these phases. We might have some dark phases where we go through some traumatic experiences. And what happens is a lot of us we didn't grow, we wasn't birthed out of that phase. We didn't get what needs to be gotten during that phase. We got attached to it. And this is why it could be 10 years later and we still attached. That phase still control us. We still actively live there, and it's been 10 years ago. All right, let me hurry up. You got to learn how to learn what you need to learn in the phases, in the school of that phase, so it can add virtue to you rather than take away from your being. All right, let's move. Time, favorite, purpose under the sun. All right, let's look at this. A time to be born and a time to die. Now, I'm just going to go over a few things with those things. That's a time to be born and a time to die. We always look at that as from a perspective of a time where as a baby comes into the world, the time at the end, but now, and I ain't even talking about even from here from a being born again perspective. But to listen to what I said in the beginning. To everything, there's a season. Now, when you developing who you are, when you adding value and virtue to yourself, in these seasons with Yahuwah, when you're going from kabod to kabod, when you're going to faith, you have to be reborn in this stage in your life. This is when you come into a greater knowledge. This is when you come into a greater understanding. This is when you come into a greater measure of his Ruach. You're being birthed into this new place. So I even have to understand in my life when there's a rebirthing that's happening. I'm being born in this area. And that can happen in the natural. That can happen in your soulish realm. That can happen in spirit. In the natural, when I'm learning a new skill set, I'm dying to my ignorance. and I'm coming to light. I'm getting a greater dominion, because this skill set is going to make me a new person in this area in the natural and give me new opportunities to be in a place, to be on a job, to start a business around new people, to let you know this is a new season and now I'm being birthed into it. That's the same thing on on all those levels. I had to learn when I was going from a student, and Yahuwah was birthing me into a teacher, a leader. So what am I being birthed into in this season? What am I learning? What I'm growing? Also, if there's a time to be born and there's a time to die, I don't need to be trying to birth something when I need to be dying. Now, we as leaders, Yahuwah might be showing us and taking us somewhere to birth something out of us in this season. But then you miss the season to die. You see that? We was all supposed to be dying in that season, and you lived. And now it's a season of birthing, because of what Yahuwah is resting on us, and you dying. So you live when you were supposed to die, and now you died when you're supposed to live. Let's keep going. Time to plant and the time to pluck up that which was planted. Right? It's a time we planting seeds. What are we planting? We putting within ourselves. That's what the scripture talks about, sowing to your spirit. I'm in a time of fasting right now. So I'm sowing into this ground of my spirit man, developing him. Praying, I'm fasting, I'm consecrating, I'm reading, I'm taking that time, seeking revelation. I'm planning, I'm putting within myself. But then there's the time to pluck up that which is planted. As a kind of take from what I was planning and manifest it. That's also a time when you're dealing with your brother and sister. It's a time to plan into people. And then it's a time you see ain't no change, you got to pull back. You got to pluck up that what you plant. You can't be around everybody all the time. All right, let's keep going. There's a time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Do you even know when those seasons are? It's a time where you don't need to be around everybody. You need to be focusing on you and Yahushua. You need to refrain from embracing. And I ain't saying you refraining from getting somebody a hug, but you need to have time where you just deal with you. You can't keep giving yourself to everybody. You're going to run out. That's going to run out. That's going to run out quick. You got a time where you pull back. and you focus on your growth, focus on your healing, focus on what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? There's a time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for shalom. What profit has he who works in that which he labor? I have seen the burden which Yahuwah has given to the sons of men to be exercised by it. He has made. See, we are sit here and miss the purpose of Yahuwah. We'll sit here in our feelings. We'll sit here crying. We'll sit here in all of this, and Yahuwah say, I'm doing this in this season for you. But we'll get an attitude. We'll get all these things and miss Yahuwah. We'll miss him. He said, I have made everything beautiful in its time. The problem is, the reason we can't allow time to play out and make things beautiful is because we think everything is permanent. So we'll make permanent decisions off of temporary problems. He has set eternity in our heart. I'm going to get out right here. Yet so that man cannot find out the work that you has done from the beginning even to the end. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do that was good as long as they live. When I know that everything is in his hands, I ain't got no worries. And you ain't going to let me find out what he got in my journey. He might show me the end, but he ain't going to show me the journey it's going to take to get there. You understand that? So that is the focus. But I just wanted to give y'all a little something. Get y'all through the day. I had to kind of speed up at the end. I couldn't go through everything, but I hope that ministered to you. Oh, let me give y'all this real quick. Isaiah 9. And let this be an encouragement. For those where it's time to be born again. Isaiah 9 verse 2. Y'all keep this, and those that this apply to, this is what you need to be becoming. It said, the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light, and those who live in the shadow of death, on them the light has shined. One more, Isaiah 27. $13. Is that right? That ain't right. That ain't right. Oh yeah, there it is. Verse 6, and it shall come to pass that Yaakov shall take root, and Israel shall blossom and bud, and they shall fill the surface of the world with fruit. So this is the time of some of y'all redemption. Of all our redemption. Those that was in darkness shall see a great light, and shall shine, and then Yaakov shall take root and begin to bud. So allow this to be a budding season in your time of growth. Hallelujah. Praise you. But we want to get that to you. Now I want everybody to do this for me. Hopefully that was edifying to you. Praise you. Switching gears. I don't know if everybody was able to see the. 'Cause I know some people switching to the partners information. I know some people did have some issues where oh, thank you, Ama Imuna, for sending that. Let me say this about the super chat. I might have to turn that thing off. I would rather, if y'all can, if you want to give on a Sunday, to give it to the National Cash App. That YouTube take 30% of what was given. I was like, man, that's a high percentage. So rather than doing super chat, send it to the Cash App, and let me put that in. $REBIRTH. That's $REBIRTH now. Yeah, they be snatching that thing, man. That was like, good night. That's crazy. But rather than doing that, yeah, they be wilding now. Rather than doing that, you wilding out. Yes, you wilding out in these streets, man. Cause that's my hat. You ever had your wife just go out in your outfit? And she ain't bought that hat. She done went out there in my hat.
Represent. Hennessy?
Yeah. It's just she supposed to buy that hat. She done just walked off with it.
What?
I charge her too.
My goodness. It's rough out here, boy. It's rough out here. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Put it on my tab.
Put it on your tab. We wildin', man. Can't have nothing out here, man. Can't have nothing out here in these marriage streets, boy. You got married and you got kids. They take your head wraps, take your hats. We out here, man. But yeah. If you can, if you desire to do that, send it to that $Rebirth National. Alright. But this is what I was saying. I hope everybody was able to see, and I try to play it before I get off, the video for the partners, because I know some been getting in touch with us about not getting approved. But we had said that from the beginning, and we'll say it again. I know sometimes some stuff get lost in the cracks. You better hurry up. Get lost in the cracks. But this is the thing. Now, with the partners, remember that you're going to at least have to, and it was like that before. I don't know if y'all remember, way when we started in 2018 partnership. You're going to have to go through at least 2 cycles, and that's the first time you give and the next time. Maybe, and that's maybe 2 giving cycles. So that'll be 2 months. And then every year have access to everything. We're going to make sure that everything is 100. But the reason that is because we had a lot of people in the past just get in just to get stuff and then get right out. They just wanted to give one time and one committed, period. So to prevent that, I know some have been faithful since day one, but we pray that you work with us, because like this is why Paul said the law is for the unrighteous rather than the righteous. So we had to kind of set a law. Now, I ain't saying that from no Christian perspective. Now, listen, I believe in the law, I believe in the Torah, I believe in the commandments and keeping them. But I understand why he said that, because of people trying to play games. You have to set a Torah. You have to put a law out for everybody to abide by, even though the righteous have been abiding by and doing the right thing, period. So this is why you're asking, okay, I done set everything up and I don't have access. You're not going to have access to at least 2 cycles. So the first time when you set it up, and then the next time, and then you'll have access to everything. Do everybody understand that? hopefully we understand. Now, if you got questions outside of that, then you want to go to info.rebirthnational@gmail.com. All right? Okay. This is the other thing. I want y'all to do this on the spot. We now going to have a YouTube page for D28 Productions, and that's all our movies and our entertainment and all of that stuff. It's actually up now, and you ought to just be able to type in D28 Productions and go to it. So I want everybody to go do that now while we on. I'm gonna put that in just to make sure. Oh, I didn't mean to put this all over. Oh man. You ought to be able to put that in. Let me see. There we go. Yep. There we go. I had to make sure it can work. Thank you, Brother Ira Ben Yahusha, for giving. Remember, we just said we want to make sure that rather than giving on YouTube, we give it on Cash App. $ Rebirth National if you want to just make a give today. But everybody go there. That's good. The moderators then put it in the group. I did not know I'm live on Benaya's page. I did not know that. I had to go back and change that. Let me answer some questions over here. I didn't know I was live over here. Over here, but we do share platforms. I hope y'all got edified this morning then. Over here. Do we have a P.O. box for mail? Yeah, we do. We do have a P.O. box. And the P.O. box is P.O. Box 1016, Hephzibah, Georgia. P.O. Box 1016, Hephzibah, Georgia. Hephzibah, like Hephzibah in the scripture. P.O. Box 1016, Hephzibah, Georgia. So we want to make sure that y'all have that D28 Productions, and go and subscribe today, right now, if you get a chance to do that. And we're going to, on that, we're going to all the live premiere that is coming, and all the other interviews from that is coming also too. So a lot of things that's going to be happening on that. So I want you to stay attentive to those things. And it will be an announcement in a week or two to our partners and those that are online. Let's check the hill, boy. All right. I believe that is it. I don't think there's nothing else that I need to bring out overall. But if you haven't seen the video, I'll try to pop it up for the partners video. So I'm going to play it while everybody's still on. All right, and then we're going to close out. All right, love y'all. We're going to bid y'all shalom. If you already done seen the partners video, don't worry about it. But if you haven't, I'm finna play it now. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Mishpachah. Infinite honors to Chief Malek Musha and Chief Malek Yahusha. Double honors to Malka Kayil and Malka Yada. Double honors to Rosh Zakane Yithro, as well as Rosh Ya'as Yeshiyahu. Double honors to Hagabir Malaka. Double honors to the 7 Mushals of the assemblies and their Ishas, and honors to everyone else that's a part of leadership. Shalom again, Mishpachah. So we are before you today to do a reminder video in reference to being a partner with Rebirth. So when you become a partner with Rebirth, it is a 2-step process. And so we just want to go over that process to make sure that everyone understands what happened once you actually sign up. So once you go to the website, which is rebirthofanation.info, in the top right hand corner, you'll see a button that'll say log in or sign up, either one of those. And once you click on that button, if you are not a partner and you're signing up for the first time, once you click on that button, you're going to click on the partner option, and then you're going to click sign up. You're going to fill in all of your information, then you're going to hit submit. Once you hit submit, that information or application, if you must say, has to be approved in the back office. Once that application or information is approved in the back office, you will receive an email confirmation. Once you get that email confirmation, you will need to go back to the webpage, rebirthofanation.info, and you're going to need to log in again with the approved email that you were just approved for partnership. Once you log back in that second time, it's going to give you an option to choose which tier that you want to be a part of. The tier that you decide to do is going to be the monthly donation that will take place, that you'll be donating to Rebirth of a Nation each month. Once you choose a tier, that payment will come out automatically. So that will be the day that your payment will come out, or your donation will come out every month in giving to Rebirth of a Nation. So once that takes place, then you are officially a partner. Now, one thing that we do want to remind people of, or we want to remind you all of, is that there is still a waiting process. Before we switched over to the new site, there was a process where you had to wait 2 rounds of donations, 2 months, 60 days, whichever sounds better to you. But you had to wait that 60-day period or 2-month period for you to actually be approved. We do this because we know that we want to make sure that the information that is going out to our partners is actually going out to people who are going to be consistent. So once you make your first payment, that payment comes through, we wait until that second payment to come out for you to actually have access to information on those tiers. Nothing has changed about that. And I do believe that Chief Malek Musha has talked about that before on an individual video on the YouTube channel of the reasoning behind why we do that. But it's just to make sure that you're going to be consistent in giving to your partnership with Rebirth. Because what we don't want is people signing up and saying, okay, I'm going to be a partner, and they donate for this 1 month and then, or make their first donation, and then they have access to everything. and then they decide to say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, and then 5 days later they cancel their membership, but they've already been able to have access to everything. So that is one of the main reasoning behind that. We would hope that that would not happen, but we also understand that it could happen. And so it's really just a way for us to kind of keep an eye out and make sure that the information that Yahuwah is given to Rebirth of a Nation and have given to the Melech Yahusha and Melech Musha, that sorry, that was a speaker. Just making sure that that information is not just going out to any and everybody. But if you are a partner, you do have access to that information. And so that is how the process goes. If you have any other questions or you need any additional explanations, or maybe some of it didn't make sense to you, please send the national secretaries an email. The email that you will send questions to is info.rebirthnational@gmail.com. Again, that email is info.rebirthnational@gmail.com. So send us an email if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and we will hear you out. We'll get a response back to you. Also, just want to remind you that we are in the season of getting ready for PESACH. We're getting ready for PESACH to travel. And so if your email is not responded to right away, we thank you in advance for being patient for that response, as we are preparing some things ministry-wise. And also, if you're watching this on today, April the 5th of 2023, Happy New Year, Rosh Hashanah to you. Shalom.
All right, can y'all hear me? I hope that answered your question. But I do want to announce this. We will be in LA, California in the month of May. You ought to be able to register. So the registration and everything will be up soon. And we'll do another video showing where you can go sign up at for that. But we will be in LA, and that as me, Chief Yahusha, and Benaiah. We'll all be in California in the month of May. I want to say it's the 3rd or 4th week in May. But the information will be out. It should be out this week, and we're going to run it on the channels, so you can go check it out. Or no, the easy thing to do is just go to the D28 Productions website and register for the event. Go to D28, www.d28productions, and then you go to the website. You'll be able to see it there. You'll be able to sign up for it. But we'll do another live probably tomorrow that's talking about that specifically, giving details, and just to let you know that you'll be able to go there. So we're looking for as many to come and to make it out to that event as we can. I love y'all, and we're going to say shalom. that California conference on the third weekend in May. Anyway, we can switch it to the fourth.